Hi everybody, it's Erin. I am one half of the dynamic duo here at ePapere. We are a channel and Etsy store all about giving you the best junk journaling and paper crafting and vintage treasure hunting stuff, tips, tricks, tutorials, tools, hacks, anything you need to continue on your own crafty journey. If that sounds like your jam, hang out with us, and welcome back to those of you who are already part of our community. So, what week am I on now? 3 for my mask making in May effort. I'm raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. If you would like to donate, even $1 helps. All of that money is going directly to St. Jude. None of it is touching my little fingers. So please, consider making a donation. Today, I am working on making some card bases, and I have some sheets left of the stuff of junk mail pieces that I printed my digitals onto. So I'm grabbing these and I'm making some card bases, and hopefully a lot of these can be used in the journals that I'm making. There's definitely a couple of celestial pieces in here. This one on this side is a Northwoods piece, but it's kind of junked up with some junk mail stuff, so this side is actually better, and that's Artist Delight, which I think I'll be able to use for Northwoods as well because it's the right colors. And I can also use that for boho, for my boho floral. This is from Funky Farm Stand, and I can definitely use that for the floral one. This one's just got a nice like purpley background, which I think would potentially fit okay in Meadow. But I also liked this card back here, which is actually from my steampunk digital, and that's got no printing on it, and I thought this was cute because it's the right colors, and it's got like the little butterfly on it and stuff, so I thought that might be fun. And then this one, this is just my favorite collage paper from my garden collage collection, and on the back it's got some more steampunk stuff. But so yeah, if I make card bases out of this, there's a lot that'll be very kind of neutral and can go with a lot of different things. So I think I've got enough papers to work with. And again, this is just digitals printed on my junk mail. I opened my junk mail, I popped it in my printer and printed just a bunch of random digital stuff on it, flipped them all over and printed on the other side too. So because these were papers that were going to go in the recycling bin anyway, so it's a great way to recycle stuff. So what I need to do is grab some card stock. I think this one's pretty good because it's just got a very faded music stuff on the back. Let's see what else I can find here. I do have some, if I can dig them out here. I've got some coffee dyed card stock that is also kind of recycled paper stuff that I grabbed from my shred pile from when I was a real estate agent. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves for a bit. See if I can find these. There we go. Here we go. So it was a bunch of these stuff. Yeah, okay. This is just paper. But these are a heavier weight paper, which once I paste it onto the other paper will make a good base for cards and stuff. Some of these are stenciled. Yeah, so anyway, these would be awesome to use for the back of cards too. So I think that's probably enough as well. So I'm thinking to see if there's anything I really care about back here. Not especially. I'm kind of okay if I just, with this one, if I just go ahead and paste this whole thing down and randomly cut cards and tags shapes out of it. So let's start with that. Okay. Gluey glue glue. Go around the edges first. And just everywhere else. Make sure we get a good schlocking of glue on there. And then I'm going to pick this up, actually. And just put this down. There we go. Put that down, and where did I put my bone folder? I had my good bone folder out. Where did it go? Where did, actually, no, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the smoother tool. I got this on my junk journal retreat from the lovely Kelly at Root Pursuit as part of my goodie bag, and I'm loving it. It's a really great tool for this purpose. I'm not sure where she bought them, but I'm sure you could find something like this on Temu or on Amazon. But it is just one of those like plastic scraper tools. I think its intended use is to scrape out the inside of a mixing bowl or something, but it is absolutely phenomenal for this purpose. So there we go. So, I mean, I don't have to necessarily trim all the edges off, and maybe I won't, because there's a nice little border and it's coffee stained, and that might be kind of cool. So I'm just gonna do I want to do this blindly? It might be kind of fun, so I don't really know what I'm getting. Let's do that. Oh, let's see, what do we want here? I think 4 inches tends to be, oh, let's do this one at 6, maybe 6. And then we'll do so that's a 4 by 6. What's this one? This one is 4.5 by 6. So maybe let's cut it this way. And this will be 2 smaller ones. And let's see, how wide is this one now? About 5. So let's see, some 3 by 5s. And then this one's just kind of a little narrower one. So let's see what we got on that one. So we've got that. Yeah, I think those are some pretty good bases. And I'll be able to use. Let's kind of set those aside for now. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so this one I wanted to use this card, and I like this writing space, so maybe I'll cut this out too. So why don't we do that? Just Well, now that I'm looking at this, considering, like, I probably wouldn't use this in Meadow, so I'm just going to put that in my scrap bin. But the rest of this we can use. So let's just glue, you know, I'm going to cut some more of this white border down because these we will have to cut out. So I'm not gonna go right up to the line because I'm gonna have to kind of detail trim everything anyway, but I don't want to waste any more coffee dyed cardstock than needs be gluing a bunch of scrappy white paper to it. So I'm just gonna kind of cut this stuff down. See, and these are still printed with the purple, so I'm going to put these in my scrap bin because I would use those in one of my scrap busting days. All right, so I'm just going to put glue all over this piece. Like I said, just give it a really good schlocking of glue here. All right. Not that it really matters, Erin, but maybe we'll do this. Well, if we do it this way, and in this case, I am going to cheat all the way over to the corner instead of leaving a border because I am going to trim all of this. So. Okay, and use the tool to get everything smoothed out and glued well down to the paper. Here we go. I'm going to let this dry just a little bit before I take the scissors to it, and let's move on to this one. Okay, there wasn't really anything on this side that I was going to use, so I think I'm just going to glue this entire piece to one like this. Okay. And we will blindly cut it after I probably salvage that main image, and then the rest of that stuff will get just cut up randomly. I mean, you can plan every little thing and every little image and make sure you've got just the right, you know, part of the paper and everything, but sometimes you end up with more scrap that way, and sometimes I think it ends up stifling a little bit of what might have been a chance to be really creative. So consider surprising yourself once in a while with an opportunity to just get something a little bit unexpected and then see what you can do with it. So in this case, I know one of my cards is going to end up with an AARP logo on it. But depending on where that ends up in the card, or if it gets cut off or whatever, it might either look really cool or it might give me a place to start building my decoration composition from. So that I might not have thought of. And then that's when we get something really unique and cool. All right, so I'm going to set this one aside and let it dry for a bit, and let's get this one going. All right, so first thing I want to do is grab these straight edges. Now in this digital, this is my first digital that I worked on, the steampunk one, and I rounded the corners of cards. I don't do that anymore on the digitals that I create because I want you to decide whether or not you want square or rounded corners. And rounding corners with a corner rounder tool is much easier than trying to do it with your scissors. So, yeah. So these might be kind of interesting to try and cut out, but I might see if my corner rounder will fit. So here we go. Or I could just square them off. Might work as well. There we go. Okay, so there's all the scrappy bits off. You can see if my corner rounder does the job. Yes, it does. Yay. There we go. That's going to be a cute little card. And this one now I've got two neutral sides on, so I can decide what I want to do with that. There we go. And then with this one, I'm not going to do anything to the corners until I figure out what I'm going to use that for. So, all right. All right. Okay, so I've got this piece here. This doesn't look too awesome. But I definitely think I'm going to cut like this down. And that. Let's see. Well, let's go down to 5. There. Use this with a good chunk of paper. And so this will be kind of a beefy card. It'll be a 5 by 5. 5 by 5? Yeah, that's not too bad. We can do something with that or make a pocket out of it. So that'll be fun. All right, so now let's make some taller, like tag shapes out of these. We go, yeah, I'm just gonna cut this in half-ish. So this is kind of cool. And then I've got some areas I can cover up down here. And then, yeah, there's some things I can add some book page to cover that up, or, you know, do whatever. So those can be used. Okay. So it'll be a little more strategic. Again, to kind of salvage those. Ah! What happened there? There we go. So I've got that floral piece, and now I can still kind of put something down in there. And then I've still got this piece, which is usable too. And let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, so I was going to use this side versus this side. Whoops, sorry. Did I hit the camera? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, so we're just going to do this. Whoop. Okay. And this one I will cut blindly again. So there's stenciling on the back. I'm not paying any attention to it. I'm just doing my thing. But what we can do is, let's see, I know it's about 8.5. So I go 4.5 on this side. That salvages most of the flowers. Do that. So I could do some like 3x4 cards. Yeah, 4x4.5, 3x, yeah, I like 3. And that's like a nice, might be good for a side pocket or something. And let's see, how wide is this? About 4 inches. So let's give ourselves a 4x6 card out of this. And then, what do we got here? 5 inches, so that's 4x5. So there we go. That's a great background paper to use, I think. That's in the Artist Delight digital, which is one of our most popular ones since Gail Augustinelli did a journal using it as a theme. This one's got some. Right, this is a great background paper, I think. Nice and neutral. And when I printed it on the junk mail, all of this type just kind of fades to the background. I think it actually turned out really nice. So I'm going to use that end. Likes to stick and get away from me. All right. So There we go. Yep. Okay. Let that dry for a little bit because this other one's going to be basically the same thing. Let's see, this paper is a little wrinkly. Yeah, I'm a bit weird. I don't like to iron my papers after I've coffee dyed them because I like them to look like they're actually really grungy and old and decrepit. And I feel like a pristinely ironed coffee dyed paper kind of wrecks that effect for me, but they're not always practical when they're all wrinkly and stuff. So, you know, you do you. And I reserve the right to change my mind and do it a different way later. There we go. Incidentally, once I cut these, if the edges start giving away from the glue stick, you can always stick those back down with art glitter glue once the cards are cut. But this just helps to, you know, get the paper adhered. Let's see if I can get this to flatten out now that I'm gluing it in place. And this one's got some very faint sunflower stenciling in the back, and which works out because a sub-theme of the Celestial Journal is actually sunflowers. That'd be more of like a page topper type of thing. So I'm gonna still cut this down. 5, and let's do 3 by 5s. 3 by 5 and whatever that is fine. And then this looks like a great tag width, so we'll just kind of do a 6-inch tag and whatever that is. So here's what we got. Oh, almost looks like a smiley face on there. 2 eyes and a moon. And if I know myself well enough, I will probably go with that. I think it's funny. All right. All right, and this one. Now, this one is almost set up where you could cut it into almost card shapes. So why don't we just do that? Although, is this too big? How big is that? It's about 4.5 by 4.5 by, oh, way too big. Okay. So no, that's not going to work. All right, turning it over then. Six. 3. 4 and 4. I'm trying to do different sizes than what we did the last one. So, all right, let's see what we got on this one. So here's our 2 small ones, and we've got this one, that one. That turned out really great, actually. And then this one. So awesome, awesome. All right, was that the last one? That might have been the last one. Yeah, that was it. Okay, let's just take a look at what we've got. So I just showed you these. Those are the celestial ones. So that's a lot for that journal. These ones can be used for Northwoods. They can be used for the boho florals. This one can be used for these can be used for the boho florals. This I could potentially use for meadow if I wanted something brighter. That's boho floral, definitely. Meadow. And then some of these can possibly go, that could be used for meadow. This one's pretty neutral. So a lot of these can be used for whatever. So yeah, happy with that. That was a lot of cards and tag bases made out of some junk mail and some junk paper that I coffee dyed. So it's all recycled materials or upcycled materials, reused materials basically. So yeah, awesome. Definitely in the spirit of the junk journaling. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.